Alex Cora has taken the best 26 to Texas, and he's trying to do his best to put 9 guys in the lineup today that most casual fans have never heard of, except for one.
At the end, we like the first baseman. He's going to play, and he's going to hit.
He sure is. He's actually going to play and hit today in the Red Sox lineup against Northeastern. Roman Anthony leads off. Christian Campbell bats second. Marcelo Meyer is third.
Roman Anthony actually got scratched.
Oh, he did? What happened?
Got hit by a pitch yesterday above the elbow, so just precautionary where they're going to take him out.
Okay, so who's going to lead off instead? Do we have an updated lineup?
Klay Thompson's brother, Trace Thompson.
Trace Thompson is now in the lineup. Okay. Batting fourth and playing first base. He's cleaning up today.
Boy.
It is Triston Casas in the lineup, followed by Abraham Toro and Nick Sogard, Nate Eaton, and how do you say Garcia's first name?
Joe Stinkson Garcia.
Joe Stinkston. I mean, that's an unfortunate name for him.
The password is what they call him.
Joe Stinkston Garcia. That makes sense. I actually like that. It does look like a password. And the catcher is Mark who?
Colasveri.
Colasveri.
He was in AAA last year. He's a catcher.
Yeah.
They call him Autofill.
Colasveri.
Colasveri.
Yeah. You know, this
Ferry. We want to get to the vineyard.
You do hear top prospect names in there. Of course, Meyer and Anthony, who was scratched, of course, but was in the lineup, as is Christian Campbell, who will play today. And then you've got Casas in there as the only regular major league player
with no name
that is in this lineup today after him having the comments that he had this week about all the kids and how they can't crack the roster and keep them in AAA. And now the manager puts him on the lineup card to play Northeastern University.
If Cora...
Hey, we might...
Wow.
Cora did speak on it this morning.
Yeah?
He said Romy Gonzalez's throwing program, he's a bit behind.
Of course.
The whole thing there is they don't have a lot of first basemen.
Right. No, definitely.
I wonder why.
He's dressing it up nicely.
That throwing program for a first baseman.
Yeah, I mean, because when you're playing Northeastern, you got to make sure you put your best foot forward.
Have to, yeah.
But Romy Gonzalez, he'd slot right in with Nick Sogard, utility guy who was up and down with the team last year.
Right, sure, yeah.
Now, play the first baseman. And what I would do if I was Cora, if he had balls, get the white tape out, put it across the helmet, put Casas on it. Like a little kid. Hey, kid, what's your name? Casas, sir.
I'll make him one of those guys that doesn't have the name on the back.
Right, you got to earn it.
You got to earn your name.
The first baseman.
The first baseman is in the
I just
lineup
like
today.
that. I like that. The first baseman. What a tool bag.
What a great answer. 7 inning game, right? When they do these? 7 innings. Yeah, they don't play the full 9.
Can we give Tony and Mike's tool bag of the day away for like Casas? And that's for their show. That's for their show. They probably would use it on him. Mm-hmm. Can't use it twice.
That's their thing.
That's a different show.
We have our
I
own
like
thing.
that song, though.
That's their signage.
What's our thing?
Today's takeaways.
Oh. The Day Ender. I remember.
Anyway.
Yeah.
If you have another segment idea, we could workshop it.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, what is it?
What is it?
What, if you had to rank Sean McDonough, play-by-play, calling sports, what is his best? What is his worst? Give me a 1, 2, 3, 4. I think number 1 for him is hockey. I think if you had to put him on a truthometer, I think
I
he
was
would
thinking
even
more
say-
like a segment idea, like a feature for the show, but
You just asked me off the cuff to come up with something. I did. Okay.
save it for 120. Zoverdrive. Hey, Zoverdrive, there's another one.
Yeah. I want to do something else there. How to melt ice. Other than rock salt. And torch.
More like Zost.
We have ice problems in our house. We have major ice problems.
Well, it's going to be like 50 degrees in a couple of days. I think you'll have less of an ice problem very
That's-
shortly.
Ice dams then. Yeah.
Big warm-up is on the way, so I think you'll be okay.
Nice. Okay. All right, we'll do that to Overdrive.
All right. In the meantime, I did want to touch on the fact that ESPN dropped Major League Baseball last night. They are saying it is a mutual parting of the ways. Rob Manfred is crying that there wasn't enough coverage on ESPN of Major League Baseball outside of live game action.
The hell's he want?
How about baseball tonight?
Sunday Night Baseball?
ESPN's mad that they've made deals with Apple and Roku for significantly less money, but the MLB's argument, and that is, well, they're getting regular season games. You guys get an entire playoff round. You get the home run derby, which they framed as the biggest skill competition in sports. I'm not telling you to go nuts over it, but ESPN essentially thinks they should be more in line with Apple and Roku.
ESPN's right, by the way. I understand it's an exclusive window, but you're talking about $550 million for ESPN. Roku's paying $10 million, and Apple's paying $90 million. So it is way out of whack.
But they claim that the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, that's an exclusive window where you're not going up against other, games. All these other, Apple and Roku, they're going against regular games on a Tuesday afternoon or a Tuesday night.
So let me ask everybody a question here, and that is, who's right in this? And I say it's ESPN. They're absolutely right. McCone, you already said it. Good for you, ESPN. Number two, who in their right mind is going to pay Major League Baseball $550 million a year for what ESPN was buying from them, which averages out to $18 million a club to start?
Who's even available to do that?
I mean, who wants, and I know that Netflix has been thrown around as a media entity that would maybe look to get more into live sports. That rumor persists, even though the CEO has come out and said, yeah, I don't really think that makes sense for us from a cost perspective for us to be carrying live sports. I mean, that was said within the last couple of months.
It's also
on
how
an earnings call.
It's also how it played out. If you read Drellick's article, the whole thing is ESPN opted out, and then MLB was like, we're opting out too.
Yes.
It was like the classic, you're breaking up with me. No, I'm breaking up with you. That's exactly what kind of played out here.
So here is what I would say. We always said baseball, despite its decline in popularity, is doing great because of these TV deals. If the TV deals, and by the way, the regional TV deals are not what they used to be. We've seen
some of them have fallen apart completely.
Yeah, we've seen markets where the team doesn't even have a station to carry their games. And MLB having to step in and create the ability to televise games. If these contracts start drying up because anybody, Apple, Netflix, ESPN, Fox, start saying, baseball, you're not worth this kind of money. It just isn't worth it to us. The sports got some real issues on their hands. That's a problem for them.
It definitely does. Andrew Marchand over The Athletic came out with an awesome article today kind of detailing everything that's in line. The other issue for them is that all these contracts are going to be up in 3 years. So there's a 3-year gap now that ESPN has opted out. And you're not going to get a huge bidder. Now, Manfred says they have 2. But it's going to be unlikely that you're going to have someone come in with a monster bid for such a short contract. So you're going to have this 3-year gap here where it's going to be interesting to see what they actually pull off. But it doesn't look like $550 million is anywhere close to the table. And Manfred, by the way, has himself to blame. I know what you're saying, Milliken, about the exclusive window, and that's how MLB is shaping it for sure. But by signing that Roku deal, which winds up being $330,000 for each organization, he shortchanged himself, and ESPN's looking at going $550 versus $10 million. I don't care if it's an exclusive window or not. We're not paying however much more that is for just that Sunday night game when you're talking about a regional sport at the end of the day, too. So Major League Baseball is in a lot of trouble here with these TV deals.
Not only when you go to them, okay, so ESPN dumped us. Like, we're out. We want to get in on what ESPN had. Well, then what if Manfred goes, we're going to have to do A, B, C, and D. You do Sunday Night Baseball, and we want you to run more highlights. We're not going to run more highlights, so we're out.
Do you know what the biggest cautionary tale is? MLS going to Apple TV. What an effing disaster that has been for MLS. It's not good. You want to grow your sport? You're not doing it that way.
So, that's the other thing, right? Like, in terms of the platform, it's like Roku for $10 million. I get it. You're getting paid, but, how does that benefit the sport long term?
There's also the 2028 thing. They're trying to, bring out this new national package where, hey, if you have blackout problems, everyone cries about it with MLB TV, you're not going to have to worry about it. That's all looming, and they're trying to build it up for 2028. They just want a streaming service to bet on it.
The problem is there's not going to be enough money in it. You're not going to all of a sudden be making $600 million a year from just a piece of your TV deal. Like, just a piece.
Right.
They were getting $550 a year. They just gave up $1.5 billion over the next 3 years that they're going to try and recoup. Where? Where's that money coming from? And this is, again, we've said it. Once the TV deals start to erode, baseball's going to be in trouble.
You have all Rokus?
I think it's a big, big problem for them.
Yes, it is.
All my TVs are Roku. You have all Roku?
Yeah. So?
No, I'm just like, that's. We were talking about this last night. Like, wow, okay, we were kind of flipping around through it. Well, look, we get this. Maybe we should cut cable.
No, and that's fair. But like in ESPN, Manfred came out and kind of hammered ESPN, saying that it's like a shrinking platform, and I get all that stuff. But still, in terms of like accessibility for the sport and growing the sport, I mean, that's one of the premier things. And you're not going to be able to make up that $550 million, despite the two people bidding on this for that 3-year window, getting you to 2028. I'm sorry, you're not. And that is going to affect a lot of stuff, man. That's crazy. That's a lot of money off the table now for Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
It just points to the CBA. There's going to be a major lockout where they need to figure out so many issues about the future of the sport.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem.
Could it point to a salary cap?
I don't know. Possibility. That's a big thing that happened. That's no small thing that happened last night with baseball.
Well, the weird money grab for like the Roku thing for $10 million blowing up in their face and essentially getting that as like a big reason why this $550 million is getting blown out is such a huge misstep by Rob Manfred. Crazy miscalculation there.
You don't need to have a Roku device to get those Roku games. You can download their Roku app
what's the meaning of
onto
that?
other devices.
I'm trying to just how we're going to operate everything, you know? I'm just starting to tap dance with the grid here a little bit.
You're tap dancing
Tap
with the
dancing
grid.
with the grid a little bit. Thinking about getting rid of the cable. We're paying too much.
I teach
You said some things today too.
What did I say?
You got me thinking. A little phone jack thing, and
I think I've figured out a real happy.
he's always
place
got
to
something
be.
going on.
I got a real happy place that I am with my
I want to be
TV
happy.
situation. It's all paid for
I want to be happy.
with major brands. It's not some, don't. Every time you bring this up, you're like, oh, I'll get you a hacked Fire Stick. You don't have to pay for any cable ever again. All the movies and the theaters, you get everything. No, none of that. Everything is on the up and up, so I could teach you. Could save you a lot of money.
Satellite cards.
Save you a lot of money. Yeah, you got to get a super box. That's everything. We've gotten every email on how to steal things on the internet. When anytime this comes up, the cutting the cord conversation comes up. Thank you for that. We're not doing that today.
No.
We're not doing it.
Don't need it.
We're talking about baseball. Triston Casas is in the lineup with all the kids today. His manager is trolling him and making him play against Northeastern. I love that. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.